Hey guys, welcome in. We've got another episode of Dynasty in 30. This is a Fantasy Now Plus show brought to you courtesy of Finns Talk Sportsnet. You can find Dynasty in 30 weekly on Fantasy Now Plus, the YouTube channel, or on Finns Talk Sportsnet Extra. I'm Will Ryan, the fantasy philosopher, joined by my co-host Tim Holstad. We've already got week 3 in the books, so it's time to think about players that you need to sell now. But we'll be right back with Dynasty in 30.
You're watching Dynasty in 30, only on Fantasy Now Plus.
Tim, welcome in. How are you doing on this fine Saturday?
I'm doing well. It's kind of crazy that we're almost a quarter of the way through the season already.
Yep. I feel like the same way as kind of the school year goes, kind of the same cycle too. Obviously, school goes a little further than the NFL season, but it starts and then all of a sudden you're like already a bunch of the way through it. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
How's your season going? Hopefully your teams haven't been getting too decimated yet.
It's about 50-50. I'm not the best person to ask because I have a ginormous portfolio. I've got like 40.
Fair.
I've got like 40 dynasty teams, so I'm probably like middling and everything.
But yeah, I don't tend to see people that outdo me, but my 20 does not look as impressive. So before we get started, I do want to make sure to remind everyone you can find all of our content on Fantasy Now Plus. The website is just FantasyNowPlus spelled out.com. We have weekly game picks. We've got strategy articles, basically anything for any of your fantasy football leagues. We've got player rankings and a lot more. You should also make sure to try and catch more of our jam-packed show lineup. Tomorrow, you don't want to miss in the mornings Bites and Insights with Chef Justin. He'll be cooking up some game day eats and answering questions. After the games on Monday, we've got Cold Brews and Hot Takes with Josh, the other Kimmel. Tuesday is Priority Waivers with Justin and Charlene, giving you the tips you need to bolster your roster on the regular. And Wednesdays, we go two-a-days with our Start-Sit show, and in the evening, the Fantasy Rankings Report. Thursday, it's not too early to get tilted. Sean runs through all of the DFS slate with favorite plays and traps to avoid. And finally, we get back to Friday where you can catch the IDP show with Pudge. Or on Saturday, you've got us. It's a mouthful there, but that's kind of the point. We've got anything and everything you might need. But back to the topic at hand, Tim. We have seen players for a few weeks now. That means valuation shifts. Personally, my biggest frustration in Dynasty is if I ever get into a situation where I have to actually drop a player. You anyone you pick up, you're kind of hoping for the best, hoping that they're going to smash. Doesn't always work out. Sometimes you do have to cut bait. But let's talk about some of these names that aren't quite there yet, but maybe are headed that way. Do you want to start us off now with your first player that needs to sell now?
Sure thing. Well, I'll start with our thumbnail guy, AJ Brown. He's 28 years old. The Eagles are just going to keep running the ball for as long as they have Saquon, and they have Saquon for a while now. And they have Jalen Hurts, and he's not going anywhere. AJ Brown is incredibly talented. He probably will continue to be incredibly talented, but unless the Eagles trade him, he's not going to have the volume that you're looking for. And as he gets older, we might also just start to see a decline in efficiency. And if he's not efficient and not getting volume, you just have a dude. So for me, it's very simply, he's still got a lot of name cachet. He's pretty valuable as it currently stands. He still has spike week potential. He still can give you the weeks, but he's not a top 5 wide receiver anymore, and he's never going to get back to that. So I'm looking to offload him while I still can get pretty good market value for him.
Yeah. Have you made any moves with AJ Brown lately, or if you feel that way, you maybe had already done it before we got to this point.
Yeah, I kind of sold him last year. The few shares I had, I could already kind of see it brewing, and this is still just kind of a continuation of that. But
yeah, what kind of draft capital do you think you'd be looking for? Or like where would you be pivoting? I'm just trying to give our viewers some concrete ideas for what to do, because I've got AJ Brown in some leagues that I'm trying to figure out what to do.
I've found that people, for some reason, are less willing to give up picks for him. You may have to go more in the younger player, somewhat proven, but not like superstar level. Someone that I would consider and see, like Travis Hunter. Disappointing start to the season, but number 2 overall pick. He's talented from what we can tell. It's just they're not really utilizing him the way that they should, and it just hasn't clicked yet. But if it does, you've got an ascending asset that is going to be talented for the next 5 to 8 years. So
yeah,
that's someone. Maybe Rome. I don't know if you could get Rome, but you could try for Rome Odunze.
I was looking at Keep Trade Cut. Rome Odunze is already above AJ Brown. So yeah, there's been some valuation shifts there. People are catching up to the early returns on the season.
Yep.
My first one, I'm going to stay at the wide receiver position, and I'm actually going to go a little bit of a different direction. So you had AJ Brown, kind of you're worried about the decline, and then he's not going to appreciate the value back. I'm going to pick a young guy here, and I think it's a guy that a lot of people are trying to buy at the moment, which partly that's why you need to sell Emeka Egbuka. Right now, believe it or not, on Keep Trade Cut, he is listed as the Dynasty wide receiver 8. Not rookie 8, wide receiver overall 8. That puts him ahead of Rome Odunze, Nico Collins, Teteroa McMillan. Not to mention Drake London, Brian Thomas. I know he's been struggling a little bit, but that's still a great rookie season to overlook. Garrett Wilson. So if you look at Emeka Egbuka, he's been great. I'm absolutely pleased. I drafted him in a lot of leagues, and I could not be happier. This is not me saying that he is not a good player. It's not me saying that he's not going to keep producing the way he is. But I just want to point out, he actually ranks 24th in yards per route run. He is tied for 31st in targets per route run, tied for 41st in catch rate. So, he's performing well with it, but not wide receiver 8 well. That price tag is just ridiculously high. Honestly, I would pop him on the trade block, tell him you're going to trade him to the highest bid within 24 hours, and just let the offers come in, because people are going to try and get a value. And you can just create a bidding war. This is one of the hottest commodities in Dynasty right now. Emeka Egbuka, you can sell for a profit. You got him for a late first. He's now, pushing 2 firsts plus maybe, depending on how desperate people are to get him. So take advantage, strike while you can. You never know when he's going to tweak an ankle, and that value is just going to drop right back down to where it probably should be. So sell now, pocket your profit.
Yep. I would even use his inflated value to try and upscale.
Yep.
Can you just put a second and go get Malik Neighbors? Probably not, but if you can, you are profiting to the utmost degree. Even a first in Egbuka for Neighbors. If you tried that in the rookie draft, that they would have laughed and been like, no, absolutely not. So don't think that you just have to tier down. You can also use his inflated value to tier up more easily than you might have expected.
Yep. Love that point. That is a good call out. There are many, many ways to handle all of these players. Tim, what do you got? What's your second player here? We started off with AJ Brown.
People are not going to like this one. Justin Jefferson.
Excuse me?
You're excused.
Please take the floor,
let me
sir.
make my case. Yeah. It's only been 2 games. JJ McCarthy looks mediocre, average. He's a rookie. He could get better. He probably will get somewhat better. Will he become, a top half quarterback in the league? I have my doubts on that. And I just don't see a path for Jefferson to just be the wide receiver 1 year in and year out. And that's kind of what he's priced at. He's like, I'm pretty sure the wide receiver 2, like very firmly. It's Chase, and then it's like a half tier. And then it's Jefferson, and maybe Puka's in there, maybe Neighbors is in there. There could be a half step between them, but he's up there. He's basically the guy. And I don't know if he's going to give you the guy production year in and year out. I'm pretty certain that as long as Joe Burrow is not dead, Jamar Chase is going to give you the guy production year in and year out. I'm pretty sure that as long as he's healthy, Puka Nacua is going to give you the guy production year in and year out. I don't know about Jefferson. He just doesn't quite get there. He did early in his career. That's what propelled him to the heights that he's got. But he doesn't really score the touchdowns that you need for the type of seasons that you're looking for. He doesn't have the big plays that you're looking for all the time. It's very much he gets there on volume. He gets there on efficiency on the volume. But that can go away with one injury, with a play scheme decision. And he still has a lot of other mouths in that offense. Jordan Addison is there. He's looked great. He's off of suspension. He will probably be there just as long as Jefferson. Hawkinson is still decent. It seems age is starting to catch up with him, but it also could just be that the offense is not really functioning the way that it should be. And I don't know. I think now is a great time to move Jefferson because there's literally nowhere else to go besides down. He is pretty much at the pinnacle. He's at mostly maximum value still. People are not going to discount him because of 2 games of JJ McCarthy. But if JJ McCarthy is the guy and he's the 18th best quarterback in football for the next 3 to 4 years, he has not so far shown a propensity to pepper Jefferson with targets. He's kind of just whoever's open, I'm going to throw it to. So
yeah.
I don't think that you need to panic sell. I don't think you need to take 90 cents on the dollar, but I would start looking. I would look around at Puka manager. I would look around at the Neighbors manager. I would just see, can I get someone 3 or 4 years younger, similar production profile, has a little bit of either a better offense or better upside to get a better quarterback in the future. But, Jefferson's 26. He's going to be 27 pretty soon. He's not the young stud anymore. He's in his prime, but that prime is you can start to see the end of it in the next couple of years.
So we got a hypothetical in the chat on Jetta's being offered Rashi and Nico Collins there. How do you feel about that offer? Is that enough? Is that not enough?
I think it's in the right vein. I'm not as high on Rashi long term. I think he kind of is just fed targets. I don't know if he necessarily earns them to the degree that we're wanting. But something in that vein. Nico and if the BTJ manager is just really down on him right now, can you get 2 second tier wide receivers out of it? Can you get 2 third tier wide receivers and a couple firsts? Like I would definitely like play hardball with it, but that's in the vein that I'm thinking about for sure, is like really good producers that are young that also have paths to get up to the heights that we want for Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I will say on that note, from a Rashi Rice perspective, if you just think about how we expect his value to fluctuate here, it should be increasing every week as we approach the end of his suspension. As soon as he comes back, the expectation is, I mean, he should get peppered again. I mean, this offense has struggled a little bit. The wide receivers haven't been healthy. I think the big concern with Rashi, knowing once he got the suspension, was Xavier Worthy having 6 games to kind of step up and be the dude for them. And obviously that has not happened yet. So, I mean, I think he's one of those players that's probably going to increase in value over the next like short term, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So if you do include him in the deal, don't be afraid to turn around and then just trade Rashi again, either right before he starts playing or after he puts up a couple 20-point weeks. I think that's a good way to kind of really parlay the value from Justin Jefferson to, okay, now I've got 2 usable pieces, to, okay, Rashi's back, sell him to the highest bidder. And then all of a sudden you've turned Jettas into Nico Collins and whatever you can get for an increased in value Rashi Rice. So we got another question here. Should I move Addison, Myers, or Ridley right now? Need another running back and wouldn't mind moving any of these guys. It's a 12-team Dynasty Superflex tight end premium. So I would not move Addison right now. I think coming off the suspension, I think people are going to be a little bit low, a little bit skeptical. Just psychologically, I think they're waiting to see before they would be willing to pay for Addison. Myers, on the other hand, coming off a strong game, I mean, I would be perfectly okay selling Myers. He is, unfortunately, probably one of those perennially undervalued players. I mean, I don't know if he's going to pull enough value, but I think what you might be able to do is do Myers for something like J.K. Dobbins right now. I don't know if you saw the usage change between week 2 and week 3 for Dobbins. The Denver Broncos had been employing a 3-headed monster at running back. Tyler Beatty had been actually getting a decent amount of work. In week 3, that went away. In week 3, I think he was down to single-digit snaps. And so you're sitting here thinking, oh, okay, now they're down to a 2-headed monster with J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. Harvey really didn't see a bump. I mean, it was a little bit, but it was really Dobbins kind of absorbed that work. And I think he's one of those guys that people don't realize the level to which he's producing right now. He would definitely be, he's one of my targets right now. And any team where I'm contending, I'm going out making offers for him, because I think not only is he producing, but he's a reasonably cost-effective running back. He's got the injury history that people are worried about. He doesn't have like the absolute stud upside, but if you're looking to fill that running back 2 spot, a flex spot with a running back so that you've got some coverage, I think he's one of your guys that you really want to look at.
Yep. I would check in with the Trey Benson manager as well.
Yep.
Disappointing game on Thursday, but the usage was good. It just didn't translate into fantasy points. But, could I do Ridley for Benson, and if I have to throw in a third round sweetener or some other end of bench rookie running back, like I'd be willing to do that.
Yeah. So Jason, what's up with Chuba Hubbard? I was actually going to save this for a little bit later in the show, but I'll skip. I'll go a little bit out of order here.
Yeah.
I have Chuba Hubbard as one of my must-sell players. He is now averaging 1.91 yards after contact per attempt this year. That ranks 23rd, minimum 25 carries. So of the guys who have carried the ball at least 25 times, 23rd. He's the only running back in the top 28 of the yards after contact per attempt that has not forced a missed tackle. So not only is he not getting extra yards, he's not making people miss. And at that point, you are completely reliant on your offensive line. It is whatever they're blocking for you, that's what you're getting. And if that's what you're providing to your team, it makes you extremely replaceable. I know he got the extension, but with the way he is playing right now, I would use the name value. He had a really good season last year. He did get the extension. But he does have Rico Dowdle lurking there. And I mean, we really haven't seen Rico in a lead role. He kind of got that last year in Dallas. But I would not be surprised if we start seeing more and more Rico Dowdle and less Chuba Hubbard. So, yeah, Jason, I would definitely be looking to move Chuba Hubbard. He is on my sell list. Take advantage before he really hits a big decrease in production, because he's still been getting enough work to be productive, but he has not been effective with it.
Yeah. As far as tomorrow goes, I think the latest report is that they expect him to play, but will he be that effective is kind of a different question for a different show. But
I think I already answered that question, Tim.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I agree on Chuba. He doesn't catch passes. He's not really that efficient anymore. He was never incredibly efficient to begin with, and that offense just sucks, unfortunately. And running backs on bad offenses just don't score fantasy points.
Yeah,
in general, especially when they don't catch passes.
I was going to say, I'm about to say a name, but you took it back. So Von Achan, running backs on bad offenses, but oh man, PPR scam. I will take it.
I'll let you into my deepest, darkest thoughts. I considered him for this list.
No,
he's not on it, but I considered him.
Okay, you can. I guess after this show, you can have a week to rethink all of your mistakes. But no. Who's your next player? We went through Chuba Hubbard here. What do you got next on your list?
My next guy, I've said this before a lot on Blue Sky. I wrote an article about it in the summer. I'm going to continue to say it. Sell Patrick Mahomes. He's 30 years old, which doesn't really matter for quarterbacks. But I don't see how their offense turns it around at this point. It seems like they're just content to be gross on offense. Like, we hoped the Super Bowl would trigger something, and they came out even worse than last year. Their running back room is atrocious. Travis Kelce truly has lost most of what he had. He is a shell of himself for sure. Xavier Worthy is young and fast, but we don't know how well he can hold up over an NFL season. We haven't seen him be used in a way that's truly going to be great for fantasy. The first time they tried to do it, he broke his shoulder. Not broke, but he dislocated his shoulder. And, we already kind of talked about Rashee Rice to some extent. Hollywood Brown looks washed. Tyquan Thornton is the best receiver on this team right now, which is not good. And all that to say, Patrick Mahomes is still like a top 5 or 6 dynasty quarterback. as far as like rankings are concerned and all that. When's the last time he produced like a top 5 or 6 dynasty quarterback? It was his last MVP caliber season. It was his first year after Tyreek Hill was traded. That's the last time he finished as a top 5 quarterback. He was the number 1 overall quarterback. But that was 2.5 years ago now. He's not going to finish as the quarterback 1 this year unless something drastically changes. So that's going to make 3 seasons finishing outside, most likely, of the top 5 quarterbacks. When's that going to change? What could they possibly do to reignite everything? And suddenly Patrick Mahomes is back to being the guy. I don't know. But you can still sell him right now for basically anything you want in Superflex.
I have one counterpoint to this.
Okay.
Only one, but it is one. Patrick Mahomes currently leads all QBs in rushing yards a game.
Yep.
So if you're looking for a way to get back, I mean, running more is certainly there. Hopefully he gets Rice back and it does click. But yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat with you where I think the name value, kind of when he just had those couple stellar seasons, I mean, I think that's still carrying him. I will say he's probably one of the super, super safe assets. I mean, from a super flex perspective, if you have Patrick Mahomes, like, you have a starter locked in for probably 5, 6, probably even more than that years. And there is something to be said for that certainty. But yeah, I do think you can get value above the production that he's actually providing.
Yep.
So definitely like that call.
Yep.
I'm going to go with another name that I think I just happen to be lower on than most people. I'll kind of just give my take. Josh Jacobs is now a touchdown reliant running back. He doesn't get very involved in the passing game. I mean, they were all intent about keeping him from breaking that record of most receptions without a receiving touchdown. That is out of the way now. So they use him a little bit in the passing game, but that is just not his strength. And in fantasy football today, where you've got PPR, unless you're playing in a standard league, Josh Jacobs not catching the ball really, really hurts his production. I know he went on a stretch where I think he scored for, 18, 19 straight games, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like clockwork. The dude was able to get into the end zone all the time. But we've seen what the Packers want to do now with Jordan Love healthy. Now they can't get their wide receivers healthy, but the idea is they want to throw the ball down the field, and then they want to run with Jacobs, just in between the tackles. He's not breaking off plays, but they're going to suck the safeties up and then throw over the top with Matthew Golden, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed. Christian Kirk will get healthy at some point, Dontavian Wicks. All of these guys are capable of going deep, and that's how they're having Jordan Love play, is looking for those deep shots that are just backbreakers. Josh Jacobs is the setup piece in this. He's not the focal point.
Yep.
Absolutely take advantage of this name value. He is a great running back. In terms of pure running ability, he is awesome. But for fantasy, he is touchdown dependent at this point.
Yep. No arguments for me. He's the type of player in Dynasty that I really never have interest in. Is just the plotters that score touchdowns, and they have a job basically until they don't, but they're never going to just break out and be the type of profile that wins you a championship. You basically just have to get lucky.
Yeah, so let's get caught up on chat questions here really quick. Thoughts on selling McBride or Bijan? I mean, unless I really have to retool, I'm not really considering it unless someone's going to throw way more than market value at me.
Yeah. Yeah. They're entering their primes. They're entrenched in their offenses. Unless you're just absolutely rebuilding, there's no reason to not have them on your roster.
Yeah, if you're rebuilding and you need to shed points, I can see needing to trade them, but just make sure you're getting a good return there. But yeah, if you're at all competing, those are the cornerstone guys you want to build around.
Yep.
Okay. Buddha Bag edits. Do I sell QJ for a late first? Got Rice and Addison. Just sold Jawan for a second. Already 3-0. I think that's fair value. I mean, I don't necessarily think that what Quentin Johnston is doing is fake. I think this is just who he is now. I think he's kind of running a little bit hot in the offense, but I mean, I think this is more how they have figured out how to use him. He was terrible his rookie year, just straight up was used poorly by the previous coaching staff. Since Harbaugh has come in, they're using him correctly, and you see the results. I mean, he's consistently putting things up. He's getting targeted. They're putting him in space and letting his athleticism win. I would say a late first is fair if you are either rebuilding and want to re-roll with QJ. I think, a late first is fine. I mean, a late first this year may have gotten you Egbuka. Think along those lines. You can always get that. You're already 3-0. So you've got a solid team. You're probably going to make the playoffs, and you've got Addison coming back this week, Rice coming back in a couple more weeks. I mean, I think you've got the framework there to compete even without Quentin Johnston, and I don't know that he's ever going to be a player that ascends from this tier. I just think this is where he is. So if you want to get a re-roll and shoot for higher return, I think that's perfectly fine.
Yep. He's a flex-worthy player until he's not. Anytime you can get a first-round pick for a flex-worthy player, I say do it, especially ones that don't really have a path to ascending past that point.
Okay, so we got a quick sit start. Zay Flowers or Breece Hall?
I would go Breece.
I actually also go Breece this week, but I am extremely high on Breece's matchup this week. I think typically that answer is going to be Zay. I do think Zay is in that wide receiver one tier now. I think he's one of those. The valuation has been catching up. I don't think it's quite there yet. If you can still get him below what market is showing right now, I would do that. But yeah, this week I think it's Breece Hall. Okay, one more. 12-team PPR: Chase, JSN, London Flowers, Waddle. Running backs, he's got Kyron, Scat, Hendo, Rashad White, Algier, Hunter Henry, and Engram. Trade Flowers. Which Hunter is that? Oh, Hunter Henry. Flowers, Hunter Henry, and Henderson for Breece and Tyler Warren. Don't think so. I think it's too much. I think you're selling low on Travion Henderson. I think we're kind of like as low as it's going to go with him. His role's not going to get any worse. We kind of thought that maybe this would happen, but we've seen him explode in kind of preseason. We know that his traits are going to work in the NFL. So at this point, I honestly would be valuing Henderson as, top 8-ish running back in Dynasty. I think he's not quite producing yet, so he's not quite up in that top area, but kind of right below it. And then, like I was just saying, Flowers to me, I think that's a wide receiver one right there. So you're trading away a wide receiver one, a running back one for Breece Hall, who I like. I do think Breece is a good target, and Tyler Warren, seems like he's going to have a very productive career. Another very productive tight end, but I don't know that I'm going to trade Zay Flowers and Henderson to go out and get Tyler Warren. So
yeah, unless you're in like a ridiculously high tight end premium league, I personally try and take the process of never weakening my skill players to go upgrade at tight end. Tight end is the most replaceable position. It's possible to stream in Dynasty even sometimes, depending on how deep your league is. So I just, unless it's Brock Bowers or maybe Trey McBride, like I have no interest in trading away good position players for just a relatively marginal upgrade at tight end.
All right, we're going a little bit long on time. Tim, do you have another player you want to highlight first, though?
Yeah. Speaking of tight ends, David Njoku. I'll keep this one kind of short. He's on the last year of his deal. He's going to be a free agent this offseason. I doubt the Browns bring him back with the somewhat emergent but long-term great view of Harold Fannin. He's 29 years old. He's always kind of been an athleticism-based play, and he's going to start reaching the age where athleticism is not going to win quite as much for him. He is just, I don't know. I don't think he really provides upside anymore. I think he's just kind of entered the realm of like, okay, tight end 2, maybe back end tight end 1 in a great season.
Sure.
And I think you can kind of just move off of him while he still has a bit of name value. There's still some Joe Flacco hope in there, but I don't really think that he's worth holding on to at this point.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm going to switch positions. I'm going to go back to running back with my last one. And this one, I mean, I don't think it's an unobvious sell candidate, but I don't think people realize how bad it is. You need to sell Alvin Kamara right now. The enticing trait for Kamara has always been his pass catching. I mean, we've known that. I want to credit Nate Janke, who pointed this out on Blue Sky. I'm going to run through his career target share. Okay, so 2017, he was at 18.9%. 2018, he was up at 20.5%. 2019, 20.1%. 2020, 22.5%. 2021, 20.2%. 2022, 18.2%. 2023, 19.3%. Last year, 21.5%. I mean, every single year he has been over 18% target share. That is 100% why we have loved him in PPR. 2025, he's at 8.6%. Yeah, that's not going to get it done when you're not awesome on the ground, which Kamara hasn't always been the best runner, but he has been awesome through the air. And the entire problem is Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore's running backs just do not get big target shares. He held down last year. He was with Philadelphia. We saw Saquon get career lows for target share. 2023, Austin Eckler, again, one of these like PPR cheat codes at running back, was only at 12%. 3 years ago, back when he was with the Cowboys, he had Tony Pollard at 10.1%. We know Tony Pollard is a good pass catching running back. And Ezekiel Elliott could do it all. He was at 10.2, 11.5, 12.3. It's not going to get better for Alvin Kamara right now.
Yep.
Take the name value while you can. Convince someone that, he's just running cold. He just hasn't gotten all the targets yet. It's coming. Get what you can for him now, because it is not getting better. You need to cash out all of your Alvin Kamara shares unless you're competing and you're okay with a running back, like low end running back 2 flex option.
Yep. Go see if the Alvin or if the James Conner manager still needs a new RB2. Go see if you can get a second for him. and just be absolutely happy that he's now off your team.
All right. I see we do have a couple questions in the chat. We are out of time, though. So, J-Dabs, if you can go ahead and join the Discord, there should be a link in the episode description. Go ahead and post that in the trade chat or the Dynasty chat. And, I mean, we will absolutely get back to you there. But right now, Tim and I have to take off. So, chat, thank you all. We always appreciate the questions. If you have not yet, please like and subscribe. Helps with the algorithms. And, you know, if you control the algorithms, you control the world. So help us out. We'll help you out. Join the Discord. Get much quicker access to Tim and I, along with everybody else from the Fantasy Now Plus crew. Until next week, this has been Dynasty in 30.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.